The Absent Author by Ron Roy. A is for absent. Come on! Dink dragged his friends down the street to the book nook. They looked through the window out of breath. The bookstore was crowded with kids. The book nook's owner, Mr. Paskey, had set up folding chairs. Dink noticed that most of them were already taken. Dink saw Mr. Paskey sitting behind the table. A big white sign on the table said, "Welcome, Wallace Wallace." But the chair behind the sign was empty. Dink gulped and stared at the empty seat. Where was Wallace Wallace? Absent Author by Ron Roy. Illustrated by John Stephen Burney. Chapter 1. Welcome to Green Lion Home of the Chapter 1. Please, Josh, Dink said. If you come with me today, I'll owe you one. Just name it anything. Dink's full name was Donald David Duncan, but no one in Green Lawn ever called him that, except his mother when she meant business. Josh Pinto grinned at his best friend. Anything? He raised his mischievous green eyes towards the ceiling of Dink's bedroom. Let's see, what do you have that I want? He scratched his head. I know, I like Loteria. Dink tossed a pillow at Josh. When I say nothing, I meant anything but my Guna pig. Are you coming with me or not? I have to be at the book nook in 15 minutes. Dink rushed into the bathroom, tucking his shirt into his jeans at the same time. Josh followed him. Standing in front of the mirror, Dink yanked a brush through his thick blonde hair. Well, he asked, are you coming with me? That's so important about his edge of the bathtub. Dink turned around and pointed his hairbrush. Wallace Wallace. Wallace Wallace isn't just some writer guy, Josh. He's the most famous mystery writer in the world. All the kids read his book, except for you. If he is so famous, why is he coming to Dinky Little Green Lawn? Dink charged back into his bedroom. I told you he's coming because I invented him. I'm scared to death to meet someone so famous. I don't even know what you were supposed to say to an author. Dink dived under his bed and backed out again with his sneakers. Please come with me. Josh leaned in the bedroom doorway. Sure, I'll come, you dope. I'm just trying to make you sweet. Usually you're so calm. Dink stared at his friend. You will? Thanks. I can't believe Wallace is really coming. When I wrote and asked him, I never thought he'd say yes. Dink yanked his backpack out of his closet. Pack my books, okay? I'm getting Wallace to sign them all. Josh began pulling Wallace Wallace books off Dink's bookshelf. Geez, how many do you have? Everyone he's written. Dink sat on the floor to tie his sneakers. 23 so far. You should read some of them, Josh. Josh picked out The Poisoned Pond and read the back cover. Hey, cool. It's Castle in Maine. Wouldn't that be neat? Dink grinned. Because I'm a famous writer. When I'm a famous writer, you can live in my castle, Josh. No way. When I'm a famous artist, you can live in my castle. Down in the basement, Josh picked up the riddle in the river. What's this guy look like? He asked. And how come his picture isn't on any of these books? I wondered about that too, Dink said. I sent him one of my school pictures and asked for one of them. But when I got his letter, there were no picture. He finished trying his laces. Maybe Wallace just doesn't like having his picture taken. Josh squeezed all 23 books into Dink's pack. He grinned at Dink. Or maybe he's just too ugly. Dink laughed. Gee, Josh, you're ugly and you love having your picture taken. How? Josh picked up his drawing pad. But just because you're my best friend, I will draw his picture at the bookstore. Dink looked at his watch. Yikes, he said. We have to pack up Ruth Rose in 1 minute. He tore into the bathroom and started brushing his teeth. How you get her to come? Josh called. Dink rushed back to his room, whipping toothpaste from his mouth. Are you kidding? Ruth Rose loved Wallace books. Dink slung his backpack over his shoulder, and he and Josh hurried next door to 24 Woody Street. Tiger Ruth Orange Cat, he's sitting in the sun on the steps. Dink pressed the doorbell. Rose showed up at the door. As usually, she was dressed all in one color. Today it was purple. She had on purple running shoes. A purple baseball cap kept her black curls out of her face. Hey, she said. Then she turned around and screamed into her house. The guys are here, Mom. I'm leaving. Dink and Josh covered their ears. Geez, Ruth Rose, Josh said. I don't know what's louder, your outfit or your voice. Ruth Rose smiled sweetly at Josh. I can't wait until Wallace signs my book, she said. She held up a copy of The Phantom in her pharmacy. I wonder if Wallace will read from the new book he's working on. Dink said, What's the title? Ruth Rose asked. They headed toward the book nook. I don't know, said Dink, but he wrote in his letter that he's doing some of the research while he's here in Disconnect. Dink pulled the letter out of his pocket. He read it loud while he walked.